Triton is the first thing that I think about when I wake up in the morning, and it's the last thing I think about before I go to bed at night, and I don't think that's ever going to change as long as we know that there's more that we can accomplish and more people that we can help with our technology. Triton Sensors is a high school success story. You know, a lot of companies say they're college startups. Triton is a very rare exception where it's actually a high school startup.
Probably my first memory of like what would become Triton was when Lance was a senior in high school and I was a junior and Jack was too. And
we were all high school classmates. Garrison and Jack were in the same class together at our high school in the Diocese of Harrisburg.
He and I had met in a statistics class, so we were sitting next to each other. By chance, you know, always kind of talking, goofing around a little bit, and Lance had started the STEM club at our school.
I think he read somewhere that, you know, starting a club would look really good on a college resume. So we had met, you know, a couple times as a club and did some things like a Rube Goldberg machine and some other cool STEM-related things.
And the STEM club is, believe it or not, what birthed Triton Sensors. It came out of a competition that we entered into the STEM club where we were tasked with solving a problem that faces Pennsylvanians in their daily lives.
I actually can remember plain as day Jack writing all our ideas up on the whiteboard at the back of the classroom, and we had a couple different ideas.
And it was kind of a hot thing at the time, like for vaping. We had some kids get in trouble at the school. Other kids we know just feeling uncomfortable in the restrooms, so their sister actually pitched the idea to do a vape detector at first.
My sister was a freshman at the time, and she thought, you know, this is a lot different than middle school. I walk into the bathroom and there's this big cloud of vape smoke every time I walk in, and it's like a hostile environment.
I think one of the things that, you know, inspired us and inspired her, where we had a lot of really good friends, like, you know, all-star athletes, honor roll students that had picked up the habit of smoking, you know, vapes at parties or at other things or peer pressure. And we kind of saw all their lives change as a result of it.
And, you know, surely we can use our engineering and our science and coding abilities to make some sort of product that would detect that vaping and send an alert to the nearby teacher or the principal. That was the entire scope of it. At first, we didn't think it would be, you know, a product that we'd be selling across the country. It was just, you know, to solve this little problem in, you know, the 6 or 7 bathrooms in our little high school.
We spent a couple months like building the first prototype. Our first enclosure was using like a 3D printer. It was massive.
It was very simple, just using Arduino parts and really basic, you know, coding.
So I remember doing the testing. Jack, I think, did all the coding. Lance did the like designing and everything like that. We went to the competition. I can remember it clear as day. The 3 of us kind of meeting there.
We did well. We did not win. We got 3rd place, which really we're very competitive. So that made us really mad, but also drove us to keep doing better.
We're kind of competitive people, and yeah, we were sad. We got 3rd place, but it was really good. It was really fun.
And if you know Lance or Jack or I were very, very competitive. And I can remember after the competition was over, we were driving back to school, and Lance and Jack and us on a call together just complaining about losing, in all honesty.
But then COVID hit, and during COVID, Jack challenged us, said, hey, let's start a business. Let's try to make $10,000. And that was our first goal.
I remember it was the morning we were going to collect all of our belongings from school, so like books, and we all met at an IHOP before. And we were all super naive, which was like actually really important, I think, into the whole company beginning. Talking about at IHOP what we could do over these next 2 weeks that we had off. And we thought we could start a business.
We thought we'd be off school for 2 weeks, and we're like, hey, let's do something with our time. And we decided to meet up and turn this, you know, idea we had into a company.
So we decided to turn the sensor into a product, productize it, make it into something that we can sell. We thought it'd be so easy. We thought, you know, it's something that we could, you know, sell. And we realized there's so many obstacles in the way in terms of scaling, in terms of marketing, and turning it into an actual product that we can sell. But, you know, it took us probably a year or so to overcome a lot of those challenges.
I remember the first time we got like a request for a quote. We didn't even have a product yet. We just had our website and like some SEO stuff going on. Yeah, it came through, and I remember being like in bed and like going and telling my mom, and I'm like, I don't really know what we're gonna do. We don't have anything to sell.
Customers were even sending us checks, and we said, hold on. We don't have a sensor for you yet. Luckily, our customers are great. They're very patient. They really appreciated how responsive we are, and, you know, how dedicated we were to giving them a great product and not compromising on the quality.
Months pass, years have passed now, and you look back and you're like, okay, it's become pretty serious, and you're like, we're a proper business now. We employ people. We're all throughout the world, all throughout the US, and it's cool to look back on those things.
We are mission driven, so any problem that we think that we can solve using our technical abilities, we are absolutely going to take on head first.
We're all about protecting, people, places, organizations from different threats, whether it be drugs or abuse or vandalism or violence.
The mission is really, to build awareness in private areas, whether that's through air quality or audio analytics or through occupancy visualization, where people still want companies or corporations to respect their privacy, so avoiding cameras. But where they should still have the right to be monitored and be safe in those areas.
If you ask any organization, they'll tell you about 70% of bad behaviors kind of happen in those unmonitorable areas where you can't monitor with traditional security protocols like cameras, access control, video. So our whole goal is to protect those private spaces and to really help those organizations eliminate those blind spots.
One thing that we really pride ourselves in is listening to our customers and having a really, really close relationship with our customers.
All of our best features or best add-ons have come from customer feedback, whether that's in a school, in a hospital, different use cases.
In our industry, it's pretty common to be pretty far removed from your customer, to sell the sensor to a distributor who sells it to a reseller, who's then connected to the customer, but not really having any direct interaction between us, the manufacturer, and the end user. And from the start, we didn't do it that way. We still do sell through resellers, of course, who have close relationships and are boots on the ground with the customer, but we almost always have a direct and personal relationship with our customer.
We work with organizations that have 8 people to some of the biggest organizations in the world, whether they're schools or hospitals or warehouses. Every customer's priorities are different, so we try to meet those needs as best we can.
Our deployments are in the tens of thousands, and we have thousands of happy customers across the world. So we're in all 50 states, we're in 20 plus countries, and we're continuing to grow every day.
Garrison always has a saying that imagine CCTV cameras 10, 20 years ago. It was weird if you would see one out in public, but now when you go into a restaurant or you go into a building, it's weird to not see any. So we kind of feel the same way about environmental sensors.
It's not just schools anymore that are using our sensors. There's banks using our sensors to detect vagrancy and other problems in their ATM vestibules. Hospitals that are using our sensors to detect patient elopement and patient wandering. It's a huge problem. Retail stores, convenience stores, using our sensors to detect potential drug overdoses.
We started as a vape detector company, but over the years we've realized there's such a huge potential we have with our gifts and abilities.
I'm still amazed every day by how much we've grown and how much we help our customers every day.